Test. Oh man, this is working
out. Good start, Chet. Good start.
That's the intro.
Joking.
Wow.
I'm gonna go get a glass of water. I'll be back.
Okay. That was a great start.
Yep. For the record, Jett was choking on himself.
Yes. Yeah. He said that a little earlier. We asked him to reword it, but he didn't.
Yeah, he just started choking again.
Yeah.
What's up, everyone? You're listening to episode 27 of the recurring Bosscast. I'm Jett from SplitKick.com. With me is Matt from Biff Band Pop and the Screaming Ego.
What's going on?
And making his triumphant return is Jason from Inside Gaming Daily and Slick Gaming.
Thank you. Hold the applause.
Dun dun dun.
Very nice.
So where have you been, man?
I've been working a lot, so I couldn't get into the podcast recording, 2 weeks ago now, because of all my shifts. Yeah, our department's kind of low staff, and I have to do a lot of closes, and it just wasn't quite working out, so... But, I mean, it's good. Like, I don't know, it's nice. Being a manager is cool, and helping out the team is really great, so I don't know, had to bite the bullet, I guess, and had to do some night shifts.
Like a boss.
Yep, like a boss.
Like a boss.
Yep. I do talk to corporate sometimes, too, so it works
like a boss.
What's talking to corporate like?
I don't know. It goes nowhere, I feel like, for the most part. It's just a lot of like, yeah, that's what I'm supposed to do, but if you worked here, you know that can't happen. So, yeah, you just try to make the best of it.
Do you have a girl named Deborah that works with you?
No, no.
Oh, okay.
True story. LinkedIn had done a survey of all the CEOs on their service.
Mm-hmm.
And the most popular names for male CEOs was Peter. The most popular female CEO name was Deborah.
Oh,
Deborah.
And the
they
thing
did their
is,
research.
There's two variations of spelling, like D-E-B-O-R-A-H and D-E-B-R-A.
Yeah.
Both are in the top 5.
Wow.
Really?
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So I just found it ironic that you would randomly pull the name Deborah as someone, as a higher up, when there's totally statistical facts to prove that there are a lot of successful Deborahs out there.
So you could predispose your child to being successful
exactly.
by naming her Deborah.
Yes.
And it doesn't even matter which way you name it.
I'm going to have a son, and I will name him Deborah, because I want him to be a CEO. And I've got to hedge my bets where the odds look good.
Yep, it's good.
Deborah Landicho is going to the top.
Matt, how about you? What's going on?
Oh, not too much. I got back from the cottage. I went, we had Thanksgiving early. My family has a tradition of
really early. Man, Thanksgiving in America time is like...
Oh, yeah. In America time. It's way later.
America time.
Our Thanksgiving is a lot earlier than the American Thanksgiving. But my family has a tradition of doing it early. So we do it the Saturday prior to the actual Thanksgiving. And that way we don't have to fight traffic going up to the cottage and coming back and all that kind of stuff. And then on the actual Thanksgiving, we kind of just chill out and, do family stuff, but do it closer to home. But yeah, so my buddy he just bought a new dog, and it's a Rottweiler German Shepherd mix.
Ooh. Interesting.
And it is 1 year old. It's about 100 pounds.
Wow.
And it's still got the mentality of a puppy, but it has the weight of a full-grown dog. So it caused some funny situations. Like it thinks it's basically a lap dog.
Mm-hmm.
So, but it's 100 pounds. So like it'll jump up on the couch and it's the size of a human being, and it'll try and sit on your lap or like bite you like playfully, but it can fit your whole arm in its mouth kind of thing. So, yeah. And then one interesting thing that happened was, because we're at the cottage, we have like a full, plumbing and running water toilet and all that kind of stuff. But the actual running water toilet, was broken. It got broken about 3 days after we got there, or 2 days after we got there. And, we had to use this chemical one that was like sort of, not free flowing. So you have to empty the basin out at the end of the weekend. Mm-hmm. So we emptied the basin out, and then the dog proceeded to go out and roll around in it.
Of course. As dogs do.
Yeah. So, they had to shampoo him, and then, oh man, but he'd never been shampooed before because they've only had him for about 3 weeks, right? Mm. So, they tried to get him with the hose, and we tried to shampoo him and wash him off, and hilarity ensued. And he had the stuff from the toilet, plus the shampoo and the water all over him, and he took off, and I tried to get the door shut, and then he went right into the cottage, into the living room, and shook it all over the place.
Oh.
So, we had to leave, but Matt, the guy that owns the dog, they stayed up there for a few extra days, but I imagine they had to keep a close eye on him. But yeah, that was my weekend.
Riveting.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
I went to the Toronto Toy Fair, which I did not know was a thing until a couple of days beforehand. Steph sent me a link. I don't even know how she found it. But it was just this event up in Vaughan where they advertised they had 8,000 square feet of space to sell random exclusive toys and stuff.
Sweet.
So it's just, alright, it's something to do. It's on a Sunday. And they also had a gaming tournament. So they were running Mario Kart Wii, Super Smash Bros. Melee, and Super Street Fighter 2 on the SNES.
Oh, wow.
So, of course, I could not say no to Super Street Fighter 2.
No, of course not.
And I got as serious, I mean, not that serious, but I ended up buying Super Street Fighter 2, the SNES version, on the Wii U eShop, and practiced a little bit. And then I got there, I was the first to sign up, and by the time the tournament was supposed to start, only 2 people had signed up.
Oh,
man.
So they pushed it
Don't
back.
tell me did they cancel it?
They pushed it back an hour, and I went back, and at that point, 3 people had signed up.
Oh, man.
So the tournament did not happen.
Well, at least you were number 1 in the books.
Yes.
Yeah, you were number
I
one.
have the Instagram photo to prove it. On my shirt, it said Super Street Fighter 2, number 1.
Amazing.
Perfect. You probably would have won anyways.
But judging by the other guy that I saw sign up, who signed up on a whim, was just like, sure, I guess, I'll do that. I think I probably could have taken him.
Yeah.
Wow. So 3 people signed up, and one of those people was like, meh, maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I did end up getting some games there.
Ooh.
On the Atari 2600, I got a copy of Pitfall 2.
Nice.
And, oh man, I don't even remember anymore. I got Asteroids, which is weird because I got home and realized I already had a copy of Asteroids. So I have doubles of that, and the other one was a space game. I think it was Defender.
Nice.
All in box?
No,
Oh.
just cards. That's fine.
That's not too bad.
I just like having the Atari cartridges because I think they're cool.
They're iconic.
And I have an Atari 2600, so I can still play these.
Exactly. And I think at this point it's kind of wishful thinking to find them in box.
Yeah, definitely.
And it's also, the value on Atari 2600 stuff isn't really that hot right now, so they're relatively cheap to pick up. So that's a plus for me. And I also picked up a copy of Strider on the NES, which I'd never seen before.
Nice. Actually, we have Strider on the NES. Unfortunately, it's nowhere near as good as on the Genesis, but there it is.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
But
did you play it yet or no?
No, I have not.
Oh, man.
I'll get around to it someday.
If you don't feel like you're missing out on that much.
I bought it to have it more than anything.
Yeah.
So, Jason, it's been a while since we've heard what you've had to play. You've probably played a lot of stuff, right?
I have played a lot of stuff. I narrowed it down to the big ones for this discussion. So let's see, 2 weeks ago, if I was on the Bosscast, I would have been playing Foul Play on Steam through the PC. And I've already played it and already beat it. It's actually really cool. It's a side-scrolling beat-em-up, sort of like Castle Crashers and games like that. But takes place as you play as a guy named, I want to say it's Baron Dashforth. And he's this older gentlemanly guy with a mustache and a cane and whatnot. And you retell the tale of his adventures while on stage. So you're at a theater, and the bottom third of the screen is a crowd. And as he's taking on these mummies, the crowd will cheer for more. And everything's in a sort of cartoony style. It looks almost kind of like South Park, where it's paper almost. I don't know, that sort of style. But it's really, really charming. And for just a few bucks, it was actually really fun play, and I would recommend playing it if you like games like that. But it is kind of bland. After you mash buttons, there's nothing else to really do. But it looks cool, and it's actually genuinely funny. So there's that.
How long does that game last for?
It's not that long. So there are 5 acts, and each act has 4 stages plus 1 boss stage. So you can probably beat it in 7 hours.
Oh, okay.
And after that, there's nothing else to really do. So
There's no like collectibles or anything.
Yeah, I mean there are, but like there's no reason to go back unless you're like super into completing everything 100%.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
which I don't really do that much, but it was entertaining, and I mean I laughed and it was fun, so it was worth my time.
All right.
After that, I actually just played, and the review just came up for Scribblenauts Unmasked on the 3DS, and
Nice.
that was pretty cool. The series is really starting to stagnate for me, and I feel like it's not doing anything super innovative anymore. I mean, Scribblenauts in of itself was actually pretty cool, but now it's just kind of more of the same, but now you can summon Batman instead of just a generic superhero. And yeah, so it's kind of, the series is kind of dwindling away, but it's still really fun. And if you haven't played a Scribblenauts, it's probably the best one I've played.
Really?
So yeah, and if you like DC comic superheroes, I mean, all the better for you, because the amount of content in there is kind of ridiculous. So like when I typed in not Batman, it was someone else. Maybe it was Batman. There's like 6 pages of versions of him that you can summon. It's like you can have all of them. Like you can even have like the Dark Knight Batman that Christian Bale plays, and yeah, all these things. So pretty fun.
Does it have Ben Affleck Batman?
No, it doesn't actually. So that's a good point. If he was in there, that would have made the game actually a lot better, because that would have been sweet. But yeah, no, he's not there.
I mean, just thinking about the idea of Scribblenauts getting stagnant.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, just that idea of you're a dude in a world and you can just summon anything you want. I kind of feel like they went as far as they could go right after the first game, basically, because where do you go from being able to do anything you want?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, they added I think it's support for verbs?
They added adjectives and super
Adjectives,
Scribblenauts.
yes. Yeah. I mean, like, once you add that, what is left?
Yeah. See, and like, no, like, you're absolutely right, and there's no problem with the gameplay, like, that's fine. Excuse me, but the issue comes from, you're limited to what you know. And so they do a good thing with Unmasked, and they give you a encyclopedia of all things DC. So if you don't know, like, Aquaman, you can look him up and be like, oh, that's cool, and it gives you information about him. But you still use the same, like, few characters or weapons to beat every puzzle and every, like, mission. And while there are some negative aspects, like, they're not so grand that you can't win. So it comes down to a game where there's so much creativity that it's like limited by itself. Like there's so much to do that you just focus on the same things over and over. So I think if they make another one, they should somehow think of a way to force the player to be more creative. But how they do that, I have no idea. Yeah,
that's just such a weird challenge, because that almost goes against the entire premise of the game.
Yeah, it does. It does. But each new game always handles better. Like the controls used to be wonky, super bad in the first one, but now they're actually really good. And I mean, it looks really nice too. They touched up the background, so that's cool. But yeah, in my mind, it's starting to kind of go downhill. So.
Can you mix and match different parts from different superheroes?
I believe you can, but not in the 3DS version. I want to say it's only the Wii U and the PC. You can, do a hero creator.
That's pretty sweet.
Yeah, it wasn't in the 3DS one, so that kind of stinks. But yeah, you can have like Batman's body with the Green Lantern's head, things like that.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's fun. And the last game that I'm playing right now that I've been really surprised with is Rune Factory 4 for the 3DS. So it's the futuristic sort of Harvest Moon game where you also kill monsters and stuff. And man, that game is just sucking me in. It's like so fun. I don't know, something about harvesting turnips and somehow going out to like mash monsters in the head with my battle axe. It just takes away all of my time. So yeah, right now I'm very happy for it, and the review is forthcoming, but it's really cool so far.
Cool. I've never played any of the Rune Factory games before. I've heard the name.
Yeah, it's been around for a while.
Started on the DS, I think, or
yes.
Game Boy Advance?
DS.
All right.
Do you like Harvest Moon?
I've never played a Harvest Moon.
I need to make a book of like strikes against Jett's video game character and just put Mega Man 2 at the top and then not playing Harvest Moon, all these things. But no, if you like Harvest Moon and you happen to like sci-fi fantasy action RPGs, then this is the combination of both.
Yeah.
So it's so niche that, it's not going to appeal to everyone. But if you do like them, this is great. The best one I've played so far. What about you guys?
So I picked up Rayman Origins. It was on the PS Plus.
All right.
Nice.
And for the Vita. And I literally have not stopped playing it since I bought it. It's so addictive. I played the first few
now.
Yeah, literally. If I kind of trail off, that's where I am. It's amazing. I love it. I haven't really gotten into many Rayman games before, and I picked this one up, and literally I've been addicted to it for about a week now.
Nice.
Play it on my commute back and forth from work. I would say I've almost beat it. I don't really know what the exact progression of the game is, but I've beaten a number of things that lead me to believe that I'm close to the end. So,
nice.
Yeah, I have a feeling that I'm pretty close to beating it.
So how many times have you wanted to throw your Vita across the room?
Well, that's actually one of the interesting things about it is that the level of difficulty sort of fluctuates, and it fluctuates really greatly.
Mm-hmm.
So like I'll play one level so each level has like sort of a progression of levels inside of it, right? So you start a big level which has got a theme, so like underwater in the ships or clouds or whatever it is, and then it has like 5 or 6 levels, including sort of a boss level in between. And I find that as you're going through, it's like you'll play one level and it'll be really easy and short. And then the next level will be like extremely difficult and really long. And then the following level will be really short. And then, you know what I mean? So I don't know. It's good. I hate the underwater levels though.
How many worlds have you beaten?
So I've got, if I'm looking at the map, I think there's 5 main worlds. And then after a certain thing happens, then there becomes 4 more. Or 5 more worlds or something. So I think I beat probably about 9 of them.
Okay.
And then there's like a boss level for the last 4 worlds.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to go in and you have to make it to the end of those. You have to have a certain number of I forget what they are. You have to save these little like jumpy things. And once you get a certain amount of them, you can unlock the different boss levels. And then that's, I think, how you beat the game. But yeah, I don't know. It's really good. But yeah, seriously though, the difficulty... Man, I'll zip through some levels, and then some levels I want to throw my Vita off the bus. Like, I'll just throw it. Like, I'll be sitting on the couch at home, and I'll just try a level like 7 or 8 times, and then the 9th time, I'm just like, forget this. I throw it across the couch and come back in like an hour or so.
At a certain point, I've beaten that game twice. Once on the Wii, once on the PS3. Okay. At a certain point, the levels are just always hard all the time.
Really? I think I might be getting to that point now.
Yes, like every single level is crazy hard, and there's a lot of forced scrolling levels where if you make one mistake, you just die.
Yeah, like where the spiders are chasing you and all that kind of stuff. Or the bats in the cave where you have to stay within the lights.
Yeah.
And it's like one bat will go rogue and they'll just kind of go inside the little light bubble and it'll just touch you and then you die and then you go, oh my god. It's like you make it 3/4 of the way through and the little rogue bat comes through and kills you and you're like, this is just too much for me.
Man, wait till you get to that last level.
I can't wait.
I watched Steph and her sister play that for, I think, 3 hours straight. Couldn't do it. They eventually got it, but yeah, it took that long.
I find though, I don't know maybe if you found this the same, but it almost becomes like a task of memorizing all the little turns and everything in each level.
Yes.
So
yeah, definitely.
It's not so much like reaction as it is just playing it like 50 times and remembering all the turns or remembering the jumps and moves, especially for the treasure levels where you're chasing the treasure chest around. Yeah. I don't know. I found it that way.
So if you do like Rayman Origins, definitely play Rayman Legends. I think that it is like that game, but it looks prettier, and all the gameplay issues of the weird difficulty and I guess hating the underwater, they fixed all that.
Nice.
So
I will say, though, that the scenery and the music and everything is amazing.
For sure.
I mean, it's probably one of sort of the best total packages I've seen. And everything works. Like when you're underwater and you hit things, even like when you kill an enemy, it'll play like a musical note as opposed to like a yell or something like that. And the musical note will sort of go in time with the music that's playing in the background. Mm-hmm. It's really weird, but you have to play it to see it, but it's really cool.
Wait till you play the music levels in Rayman Legends.
Oh, really?
All of your actions have to be played within the rhythm of the song, or else you will lose.
Oh, man.
Amazing.
Yeah, so it's just really weird how they've made like this platform level based on, I don't know, a mariachi version of Eye of the Tiger. It's really neat. So, have you been playing anything else? I just want to talk about Rayman some more, but...
It's funny, Rayman Legends, the music, I was reading something on one day, and I found that Incubus does some of the music for Rayman Legends.
What?
Interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, it's, I think it's the old bassist, though, Dirk Lance, and then the drummer, I believe. they do some stuff. And then a bunch of other artists collaborated on it as well. But yeah, it struck me that Incubus is playing on Rayman Legends. So
right now, I think Rayman is the king of the 2D platformer.
yeah, it's pretty good. I would have to say that it's
having played Rayman Origins and then playing New Super Mario Bros. U, I think Rayman Origins is the better game. And then playing Rayman Legends, which is a step even beyond that. Right now, Ubisoft killing it.
Nice.
Yeah. So, Jett, what else have I been playing? I've been playing a lot of Grand Theft Auto online.
Okay, that's something I've not been playing any of. So
yeah, apparently a lot of people haven't been playing any of it.
I'm very scared. When I saw that people's single-player saves were getting corrupted from it, I just said, you know what? I don't need it that badly right now. I will just sit this one out until they've sorted out all the problems and they put the microtransactions back in. And for me, my thinking is, if they're willing to put the microtransactions back in, then the game is stable enough for me to play.
Yeah, that's a pretty good assumption.
Yeah, I go with that.
I haven't really had the problems that a lot of other people have had. I mean, I couldn't connect for a really long time, but once I connected, I never had any issue. It stalled out for me a lot. I got all of the problems like right across the board that everybody else was having for a while, but I should touch wood now because I don't want it to actually happen. But I never had any of the problems with, deleted characters or anything like that. My brother did though. He got a guy up to like level 12 or 13 as he was going through, and then he turned it on this morning and he had all of his money and everything that he had before, but his character level was set back to 0.
Oh no.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't know. And they still haven't put the microtransactions back as of this recording, so I'm not quite sure where they are with the whole fix, but everything seems to be a little bit better. Like I haven't had any problems connecting. I haven't had any problems going in and out of missions. And again, like I said, I haven't had any problems losing money or character stats or anything like that. So, hopefully it's stabilizing and we can start doing it, but it's an interesting game.
Yeah, so what is it like? Because right now, my only frame of reference is Grand Theft Auto 4 multiplayer, which was just 16
like
people in a lobby and you did whatever you want, and there was no direction or anything.
Well, it's kind of like that, as in, there are 16 people in the lobby. However, they just kind of roam around, and there's missions you can do, there's races you can do, and then you have the option of, so if you want to do a mission or a race or whatever it is you want to do, you can invite either all the people that are in your lobby, or you can just invite like a broad invite for any server kind of thing that people can join in on. But yeah, it's just essentially running around trying to get as much money as you can and try not to get killed by everybody else that's in the level. And sometimes you'll get into servers where all people want to do is just do jobs. They want to get money and do jobs and whatnot. And then you get into servers where all it is just people running around trying to kill you and make life miserable. And I admit I've been guilty of both.
Yeah.
So I think that's what they want you to do, though.
Yeah, they've got a thing now where, so you make money and you can deposit your money. So if you finish a job and it's worth, $5,000, you have to deposit the money into the bank, or else if somebody kills you while you're holding it, you drop a percentage of it. Right? So they've got it so you can do it from your phone. So it's not really that difficult, but oftentimes people forget to do it. So what you have is people basically running around waiting at the mission spawn points or waiting at the ATMs. And when they see people coming to deposit their money or just exiting a mission, it's like, bam, they kill them and then they take their money.
Wow.
That's dirty.
Yeah. Yeah. So, it's different, but it's fun. Like, you can do so many cool things. Like, if, there's a group of people robbing. So today, for instance, when I came home, I was playing a little bit of it, and this guy basically ran by me, shot me while I was driving, and just kind of drove away. So I marked him on my map, and he went and he tried to rob a convenience store. So what I did was I grabbed my car and I parked it in front of the door of the convenience store so that he couldn't get out of the convenience store. But when you rob the convenience store, you get a wanted level right away, right? So I basically left the car in front, and there wasn't enough room for him to hop over the car because the doorway was too low. So I just basically let him sit in the convenience store until the cops came in and arrested him.
That's awesome.
Amazing.
Yeah.
I love
so basically it was like I waited for enough cops to come in until I got the wanted level, drove away, and then like 4 or 5 cops rushed into the store and got him. So yeah, it's amazing. But yeah, it's really cool. Like, you can steal helicopters and run around and rob stores, then fly away in a helicopter so the cops can't get you. You can buy apartments and, cars, and in order to keep a car for yourself, you have to put a GPS unit on it, and then you have to buy insurance. So if it gets exploded, you can call the insurance company and they replace it for you.
Sweet.
It's interesting. And then, of course, the stock market and everything still works, but I don't really think that's been working too well, so I haven't really done anything with it. But yeah, I mean, when this thing's up and running and totally functional as Rockstar planned it, I think it's going to be pretty in-depth, pretty interesting.
Yeah, I can't wait for them to sort all of that out. But for now, I will sit on the sidelines and just bide my time. Maybe play some more single player, because I beat that.
Yeah?
I did. I finally beat the main story, yes.
Nice. Did you take my advice with the waiting for the stock market?
So that was a weird thing, because all of the missions where they said they tried to give you hints, I either couldn't hear what they said, or they'd say something, and I try and mouth it out, okay, they said this thing, and then I'd look through the list, and I couldn't find them on there at all.
Really?
Yeah. And that happened to me every single time. So I said, you know what, forget it, I'm just going to play this straight through, as I normally would.
So how much did you end with? Spoilers.
I mean... see, that's another thing. Like, you made a lot of references to money in the last one, and it got me thinking that, I need to play this a specific way.
Right.
But money did not impact the way I played that game at all.
No. Well, what I meant was that you just didn't get a lot of it during the main campaign until, I guess we're spoiling a little bit.
No. I think I had enough money for what I wanted to do, which was not much. I mean, I was cool with the standard issue cars, and I think I ended up buying Smoke on the Water. Right. But I never ended up doing any of the delivery jobs.
No, and then you get mean text messages from them like, I guess we're going to have a slow week this week. But it'd be messed
up where they'd say, our shipment got robbed, so then I'd look for the P, I'd press start, mark it on the map, and then the moment I come back, the P disappeared. And then,
really?
Yeah, that happened every single time.
Oh, that's weird.
So I think it's the moment it shows up, you just have to drive in that direction, and you can't pull up the map, but I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I guess really money sort of plays more at the end game, because then you can go around when you don't have like a mission structure to follow, and there's tons of properties and tons of things to buy. But really, once you've beaten the game, there's not much.
No, I mean, just take care of much incentive to do that.
Yeah, but I mean, at the beginning with the money, as long as you have a decent weapon, and you're actually given a lot of weapons for missions. As
I
well,
never
too, right?
upgraded anything beyond what I had to for missions, and I was.
Oh, really? Yeah, I don't know. I finished the game with a lot of money from the stock market.
Oh, okay.
But then that was another thing is like, once I was done, I had all this money and like nothing really to spend it on. I don't know. Whereas online, money is really important, and it's worse. The sort of what I made of money in the single player is like 10 times more in online. Like you need money, and it's in very short supply. Yeah.
All right. Well, I will look out for that when I eventually get on GTA 5 online. But for now, I'm still playing some other things. So, Jason, I'm 40 hours into Project Cross Zone, and it's still not done.
Yeah, I see it's on your list of games.
It's still not. When does this game end?
I think that's around when I beat it. It was like 40.
I'm at the point where all of the dudes have to go onto the spaceship thing, but they split into groups of 3, and I'm just about to finish the first group.
I think that's the end. I think you're getting close.
Okay. To its credit, I have not given up on the game despite all this time, but it never got better, and it never got worse. It just kind of stayed the same all the way through.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I mean,
even when they unlocked like all the extra like moves and stuff to do. And,
yeah. That's okay. We're done with that one.
Done with that.
Move on. I beat Grand Theft Auto 5. We talked about that. Steph and I went halfsies on a Disney Infinity set.
Nice.
So I mean,
was it everything you dreamed of?
It is a very expensive dream. I mean, even though. So one of the things about Disney Infinity is that you cannot play that game in 2-player co-op in the story in the playset mode, which is kind of the main campaign. You can't play 2-player co-op unless you have 2 characters of the same universe.
Right.
So, if you want to play the Pirates of the Caribbean thing with a friend, you've got to have the Jack Sparrow that comes in the box and a separate character that you have to buy on your own.
Wow.
So if you actually want to play like the 3 default campaigns with a friend all the way through, you have to buy 3 separate characters. They have specific bundles for that. There's a sidekick pack and a villain pack, and those are $30 each. on top of the
Holy
game, which
cow.
is already $75.
Yeah, that's crazy expensive.
That's crazy.
So we picked up we wanted the Villains Pack because Walmart had a deal where if you buy Disney Infinity, you get a $15 gift card, and then we use the gift card on these. We wanted to use it on the Villain Pack, but the Walmart that we went to only had the Sidekick Pack, so we picked that one up. And we tried to play the Pirates of the Caribbean game, and Barbossa didn't work. And we're like, oh, what's going on? And then Steph had this idea, like, wait, maybe So we booted up the Incredibles game, and we put Barbossa on, and the game read him as Mrs. Incredible.
What?
No way.
Yeah.
So they just branded it wrong or did something?
Yeah, the disc inside is Mrs. Incredible.
Oh, Lord.
That's crazy.
Yeah, apparently it's a common problem with Barbossa. So, PSA for everyone. It looks like a man, totally not.
Yeah.
Yeah. Barbossa is actually a woman.
Yes. So I went to return it at Walmart, and they said, okay, fine, do your exchange. But then when I got to the shelf, there were 2 sets, and I'm like, I don't want to get burned again. How do I tell? And then I realized right behind me was the Disney Infinity portal to scan the characters.
Oh, yeah, scan it on.
So I grabbed the one that I had in my hand, I scanned it. Barbossa worked. I took the other one just for reference to see it, and the Barbossa scanned in as Mrs. Incredible.
Wow, that's crazy.
So I was like, well, I'm not getting that one. And was able to sort that situation out, which is for the best.
That's really crazy.
Yeah, I never heard of that happening.
Yeah, that was really odd. So as for the game itself, I was caught off guard a little bit by how different it is from Skylanders, where like the gameplay is almost completely different, other than the fact that you are playing as a character in a world. So instead of Skylanders, which is basically, I don't know, Diablo for kids,
Pretty much.
Okay.
pretty much,
Yeah.
this is more like, the closest parallel I'd say is like Grand Theft Auto. Each world is an open world, and there are people who give out missions, and there's also side quests, and you can kind of do them in... I guess there is sort of an order to it, but there's also stuff you can just do for fun on your own.
Wow.
So it ends up becoming like my first Grand Theft Auto in a weird way.
Mm-hmm.
And each of the different worlds focuses on different things. So the Monsters University one focuses a bit more on stealth, where it's a lot of sneaking up behind people and scaring people. There's the Incredibles one, which is kind of like Infamous, where you have superpowers and you're beating up big robots and throwing cars and stuff.
Yeah.
And then I think my favorite one is the Pirates of the Caribbean one, which is basically Assassin's Creed 4.
Nice.
Yeah, you
Nice.
steer a pirate ship, you jump on people's ships, row boats, fight with swords and guns.
That's pretty cool.
So it ends up being like, yeah, it's like a kid's version of all of those, like a stealth action game, a superhero action game, and Assassin's Creed. At least those 3 main sets. And I think for what it is, it's really neat. If you're like, I don't know, hardcore enough to listen to the show, then maybe it's not for you if you're just going to play it by yourself. But, I don't know, playing with Steph, it's a lot of fun and something that we can enjoy together.
Cool. Yeah, but you can't really recommend co-op considering you have to spend so much more extra money just to play it.
Potentially. I mean, if you're buying figures for Skylanders, it's not that much of a jump, other than the fact that you have to buy a few more figures. But if you're going to buy them anyway because you like the figurines, then sure, why
Yeah,
not?
true.
I think the big gotcha is if you want to unlock the rest of the game. So, for instance, right now there's a Lone Ranger set and a car set. And you can't play the Lone Ranger campaign unless you buy the Lone Ranger playset, which is the 2 characters plus the figurine that activates the world, and those are $35 each.
No way.
Yeah,
And
it's
so
crazy expensive.
Yeah, so it's $70 if you want to play Lone Ranger and Cars, and there's a Toy Story one coming soon, and
So they're just basically selling cheap full games.
Yeah, or
Over
like
and over
glorified DLC.
yeah, basically.
yeah. Well, I've heard
Yeah.
that each campaign's like 4 hours each.
Mhm.
So it's
Yeah, which is about DLC time.
yeah. It's crazy expensive if you want to do all of it, but if you just stick with the base game and you're playing by yourself, I think that's a pretty good chunk of game to start with. And if you
Yeah.
want to go further down that rabbit hole, sure. If not, no.
Hmm.
I think overall it's probably a little more interesting of a game than Skylanders because there's more stuff to do. And I like the fact that because you're in a different Disney universe, there's different things you're doing in each thing, so it adds a lot of variety to it. My only, I guess, technical gripe with it is that when you're playing 2-player split screen, the frame rate is not the greatest. It's still playable, but it does dip at times.
Oh, that's a shame. That shouldn't be an issue.
Well,
Yeah,
it's
really.
2-player split screen, and it's rendering out the entire world, and it's an open world thing.
I guess.
I don't know. It's 2013, Jett. Come on.
It does look really pretty, and it is fun. Jason, do you have any interest in the Disney Infinity?
I was super interested when it came out. The price really turned me off a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, like, it sounds cool, but I was never one for world creation modes. So, like, the toy box would be cool, but I would never really enjoy it. Like, because I looked at it as almost like a Little Big Planet sort of game. And,
Okay.
like, I don't know. For me, like, I don't want to take the time to create. While it might be fun to play someone else's level, that's a big draw to the game, I feel, and that's not something that I would enjoy.
I've hardly played any toy box mode. For Steph and I, it's just been the play sets, and I think they're worth the price of admission.
Yeah, oh yeah, those definitely look really cool. And I mean, the collector in me is like, I need to own all of these. But I don't know. Like, I'm still leaning towards Skylanders, and I mean, Swap Force is out, and when you hear this, like a day or two. So, yeah, I'll probably just stick with that.
Okay, I feel I got burned by the last Skylander, so I'm kind of reluctant to go back in.
Mm-hmm.
Especially now that I have Disney Infinity, and I think that's pretty cool. So I think I'll at least play that out first. We'll see what happens on Boxing Day. If Skylanders comes down a bunch, maybe I'll pick it up then.
Yeah, I'm hoping to get it. It should be fun, but we'll see in the future.
Alright. One random thing about Disney Infinity, if you are playing on the Wii, I have heard that you cannot play that 2-player co-op in playset mode.
Like, it's just not available, or is it a
Not
glitch?
available.
Huh.
They just
And
did
it's
it.
only on the Wii?
Only on the Wii. Apparently it does not have the horsepower for it or something.
Yeah. Well, I guess
Ouch.
if the 360 or PS3 you're playing on is struggling to do it, I can't imagine the Wii doing much better.
Mm-hmm. So that's Disney Infinity. The other one I've been playing is Pikmin 3.
Sweet.
I borrowed my brother's copy of that game. It's my first Pikmin game. And I am really weirded out by how hardcore that game is mechanically. Yeah, that game does not mess around, where you've got a limited amount of time at each day, and it's basically up to you to determine what you're going to do on that given day, and there's usually multiple things to do, so you're either going to, I guess, like you have to multitask or plan very specifically, I'm going to do this thing, and then the next day I'm going to do that thing. But then things can go sideways when, I guess, for instance, there's one level where I split my Pikmin into 2 different groups, because you can have 2 squad leaders, or up to 3. It's based on the story. And I split my group off into 1 big group and 1 small group. And the small group, they kind of went into this cave, and all of a sudden, I'm facing off against the first boss in the game with only like 20 Pikmin. And of course, they all die.
Of course.
And then half the day's gone. Now I gotta run away. And I pretty much screwed up that entire day, and I have to play the whole thing over again, or I can just accept the fact that a bunch of my cute little Pikmin horribly died, and try and move on with my life.
You watch their souls ascend to Pikmin heaven. Makes you
Tough.
feel bad about yourself.
Oh, for sure. The most horrific thing is when you leave Pikmin behind at the end of the day, and the spaceship flies off,
Yeah, it
and then
leaves.
they pan back down to the planet, and the Pikmin are running back like, hey, you forgot us, and then the monsters come and eat them.
Yep.
It's horrible.
Yeah, that's because you're a bad person, Jeff.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Like,
It's like hitting a dog in Grand Theft Auto.
I played... just that one little moment, like, got to me more than anything in Grand Theft Auto 5. Like, I played that torture scene in Grand Theft Auto 5. I was like, whatever, I'm pushing buttons. But when I saw those Pikmin get eaten up by those monsters, because I made the choice. The game said there are 5 Pikmin left behind. You should go get them or leave them and they die. And I made a choice. I thought it was good for the team that I'm just gonna go. But then when I saw them all get slaughtered like that, I felt like the biggest jerk.
You're gonna have a million on your hands. Pikmin are gonna rule.
You're just a horrible person.
Yeah.
So I've come to the conclusion you can play Pikmin wrong very easily to the point where you just can't beat that game anymore if you go like crazy down the path of squandering your time.
Yeah.
But I'm starting to get to a point where I'm coming to grips with its systems and how I should play that game, and like, for instance, I played Day 2, I think 3 or 4 different times, because I was just not happy with what was going on, or I recognized that I'd completely screwed everything up. But now I've gotten to a point, I've got a bit of extra fruit stashed in my spaceship, so I can last a few extra days, and I think I'm just going to play through. It's really fun, and different. It was not what I was expecting, and I really like that whole time management aspect of it, and just... having to think through, like, well, I've only got this much time. What am I going to do with this time? I have to execute these things perfectly, or else I waste a day, or some Pikmin die, and so on and so forth.
Now, you said this was your first Pikmin game?
Yes.
Okay, so I've only played one, so I have a question. When I was playing the first Pikmin, I thought the game was actually kind of scary. Do you think it's kind of scary? Like, not scary like, oh my gosh, this is so frightening, but like, you never know when like the monster is gonna like eat your Pikmin. And I was like, so okay, so maybe nerve-wracking would be a better way to put it. I don't know, do you feel the same way?
The first boss had, it's like a kind of centipede type thing with these big jaws at the front.
Yeah.
And like the second time I went in there with a giant group of Pikmin, it grabbed about 40 of them and like almost killed them all in one shot. Like half of them died in that first thing, and that freaked me out.
Yeah. Yeah, that's exactly how I felt. I was like, oh my god, like this world is terrifying.
Yeah,
oh my god,
and they all die, and you realize that, if I lose, like you could play that boss fight in a way where you'd lose almost all your Pikmin. And sure, you could play out the day, but then you've lost all your Pikmin, which means you've got to spend who knows how long to either rebuild those up, or you want to replay the whole thing again. So yeah, the consequences for screwing up are really high in that game. And that really caught me off guard for a game as cute and looking as this one.
Yeah, seriously.
It's deceptive.
Yeah, it is
deceptively cute.
Maybe the most hardcore game I've played this year.
Yeah, that game is not really for kids. So
no, not at all. Just watching, I mean, just watching those Pikmin die in that particular fashion of just, I stranded them.
Yep. Worse than being eviscerated by the centipede monster.
40 at a time.
Yeah.
I will. Yeah, I'm very early on in that game. Hopefully, I'll get further into it next time we talk. But so that's everything we've been playing. We should move on to our topic of the week, which is.
Yay! Jason's so excited.
Jason's so excited for this one. Jason recommended it. It's Pokemon.
Woo!
So I believe it's, by the time people listen to this, Pokemon will be either out or almost out. X and Y.
It'll be out. X and Y should be out.
Yeah. So Jason wants to talk everything Pokemon.
Yes.
And so Matt and I are not the biggest Pokemon fans. I know very little about the series as a whole. So Matt's... Even before the show, that was just Matt's one go-to point. Like, I played Pokemon Snap. This is the one I know.
Yep.
I took pictures. TMZ would be proud.
Yes, exactly.
Should have seen the scoop I got on that Snorlax.
Yeah.
I swear it was awake, damn it.
Yeah, so I need to clarify. I'm not like some crazy Pokemon fanatic. I like Pokemon, but I mean, I don't like, dress up like Ash Ketchum or anything. So, just so you don't get the wrong idea. But
I did watch the Pokemon World Championships on Twitch a couple of months ago.
I haven't even done that. So
it was the kids division, and it was really funny seeing the hundreds of people in the tournament venue cheering on these kids playing Pokemon. It was pretty funny.
Nice.
And the commentators were talking about all of the high-level strats, and yeah, it was very cool.
Yeah,
I'm sure I don't understand most of it, but that was an interesting experience.
I mean, I feel like the fact that there is like a world championship just solidifies Pokemon in gaming greatness. So I don't know. I mean, what other games do that? Not even like a fighting game; it's an RPG. So I mean, that's pretty cool. But so, anyways, I kind of wanted to tailor the discussion in a certain way. So, like, when did we all start playing the series? I actually picked up the first copies, like Red and Blue, and I got Yellow, and I was really into it when I was younger. But when did you guys start actually playing?
My brother got Pokemon Blue around the time that came out. That was a really big thing. He had his own Game Boy, and that game absorbed his life for that next few months, and he needed to learn everything about Pokemon, and had to collect them all. I only played a little bit of it at the time, maybe 2 or 3 hours, and that was it. I was in an age where Game Boys were not cool enough for me as a hip, cool teenager, and Pokemon, that's a kid's thing. I'm too old for that. Didn't play it. So I tried it out, and I actually enjoyed it for the few hours I played it, but then I guess the peer pressure of not wanting to look like a kid stopped me from playing it any further.
That's actually uncanny, because I would say I had the exact same, almost the identical experience. I started with Yellow, though.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that was the first one I tried. I liked it. I just never really followed through with it. I never beat it or anything. I just, played around with it and then moved on.
I think I beat the first gym.
Yeah, something like that.
So you're like, I played for 20 minutes. That's it.
Who's the first gym master? Was it Brock?
Yeah, Brock's the first one.
Yeah, I beat him, and that was it.
Nice. Man, maybe I'm just like younger than you guys, but like I remember it was like everyone played Pokemon, like everyone. And I remember coming home from school and I would just play because I needed to have the best team. Because when I would go meet my friends on the weekend, I needed to win. And it was like a way of life. It was so crazy, and I don't know. I remember playing so much of Red and Blue, and then a little bit of Yellow because it was kind of the same thing. But then when the new ones came out, I just didn't play them. Maybe because of what Jett said. Maybe I thought I was too old, or it's a kid's game. But like with Gold and Silver and all that, yeah, I just didn't play that much.
Yeah, knowing our age differences, I know Matt is slightly older than me, and you're a couple of years younger than us.
Mm-hmm.
That it kind of the age range fits in the time where I was like, yeah, Matt and I are just a bit too old, and you're like right on the precipice.
Yes, exactly. So.
Yeah, because I think Pokemon Yellow. I think I was 15 or 16, so I was just getting out of it.
Yeah, I think I was like 10 when like they came out, so I was young. Yeah,
you're right there.
Anyways, what did you guys like? I don't know about the game, because I think the thing that really appealed to me, and it was definitely one of the games that brought me into gaming as a whole and into RPGs. I just thought the game was really simple yet really fun and addictive. So I don't know, was there like a certain aspect that you really latched onto, or something that you didn't like, and that's why you didn't play it, or was it just sort of the presentation, like it was for kids, or?
I don't think I played enough of Pokemon to say that there was anything in particular I didn't like. I remember collecting a few Pokemon, battling, beating that first gym leader, and saying like, "Oh yeah, this is pretty cool," and then I just stopped.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I mean, that's kind of. I would agree with that. I mean, I don't really have enough experience with it to say, "Oh, I definitively don't like this part," or "I don't like that." But it just never really sort of got me the way I think the Final Fantasy games or anything did. I don't know.
I think when I look back at it, and even now, like I see that series as being an introductory series. Like if someone is younger, what happened? If someone is younger and they really enjoy like Pokemon, I could see them moving on to like Matt said, like Final Fantasy and things like that. And I think as a quote unquote gateway game, I think it's actually really great. And in terms of just gaming as a whole, I think having Pokemon around all the time has been really good. But I started to like not play the game anymore because, well, one, I got older and I didn't have enough time. But I think the game series like stagnated and nothing really happened. And yet the game still sold like millions, which just kind of boggled my mind. Like people would play it over and over again. But getting back onto what I was saying, there are people like nowadays, like my nephew is 11 and he knows of Pokemon, but he only knows of the TV show. Like he has no idea there's a video game. And
right.
It's crazy. Like I don't know. I can't even fathom someone not knowing that. Like he just watches the TV show. So I don't know. It blows my mind. And there were kids that I went to school and they would only, maybe because they didn't have the Game Boy, they would only play the trading card game. And
right.
I don't know. Did you guys play the game at all or no? Trading card?
No. My little cousin, who is about 6 years old, I don't think he's ever played a Pokemon video game, but he does have the cards and does play that.
And apparently one of the cards just sold for a ridiculous amount of money. Some Illustrator Pikachu card.
Oh, yeah, I read that online. Like thousands, wasn't it?
Yeah, more than that. It was like tens of thousands.
That's stupid.
Did they just like handwrite the effects on it? Just Pikachu electrocutes the entire universe and wins.
Endgame win.
Apparently it was like a contest they held and they had people design cards for them and then that was the winner or something like that. But it's a really rare card and it's got a little paintbrush icon on the bottom of it.
Cool.
Apparently that's what makes it super rare. So
yeah,
not entirely sure. I mean, I don't think I'd spend 20 grand on a Pokemon card.
One of the interesting things Jason kind of brought up about his perception of the series being stagnant. I've seen a lot of people complain about that, but I've also seen Nintendo's response to that particular criticism in the fact that at a certain point, Pokemon's not supposed to be for you anymore.
Yeah.
They've always made those games as introductory games because there's always a new generation of kids coming up, and Pokemon is supposed to be their first RPG.
Yeah, you're right.
And so that's why it sells millions and millions, because there's always a new crop of little kids coming into the scene needing something to play, and that's where Pokemon comes in every single time.
Yeah.
See, I agree, and I totally understand that, but I actually wrote a blog article about it, and I just feel like there's so much more that could be done that would still make the game relevant to like all of us. And I know they're going for a happy-go-lucky, feel-good game, but like they could easily do some changes that would make the games better. Like, what if you play as someone from Team Rocket or Team whatever you want to call it, and you could be like kind of wishy-washy. Like you could be in the middle, like, oh, Team Rocket does these evil things, but you're going to be really good. And in the end, you could like thwart Team Rocket and, you know, become this Pokemon savior, which is essentially the same idea, but like now you've changed it. So at least your role is different. Like, and I just feel like things like that would make it better, but maybe that's not, I mean, obviously it's printing money for Nintendo, so they're not going to change it, but
That's true.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, they add like 10 Pokemon every game or something.
10? They had like 100. I think they're up to, I want to say when Black and White 2 came out, there was 651. Maybe there was more.
Really?
Maybe it was a little bit more. And so I know they're adding.
That's how much I know.
yeah. I know they're adding.
By the way,
new ones. So
by the way, we were way off. The first one, or one of the ones that sold, was $20,000.
Damn.
And a guy just posted another rare Illustrator Pikachu card for $100,000.
Oh my goodness!
So $100,000 could get you a piece of paper.
Yeah, it could also get you a house.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
or anything
a few cars.
Almost.
Yeah.
Sticking with the card game, I remember in a weird way. I remember I started playing Magic the Gathering, then I went to Pokemon, then I went back to Magic. But I don't know, the similarities and differences are they're all kind of there, but yeah, like Pokemon is a gateway RPG. It's also like a gateway card game. I mean, it's everything. It's crazy how much they marketed that to just milk money out of kids and parents.
Yeah, my first nerd thing.
Yes, exactly. Oh man, but yeah, I still have my cards. I wonder if they're worth any money. Like, I remember I played the first series. Oh, I remember going to Toys R Us when the Jungle Pack came out. So it was like the first expansion. There was a line outside the door just to get to the registers, which were like in the back of the store. Like, so, oh my gosh, everyone wanted those stupid cards. And yeah, it was crazy. I remember they got banned from school because people were playing too much. You can no longer bring the Game Boys to school because people were playing too much. And
yeah, I remember that.
It was crazy. You also couldn't bring Pogs, but Pogs.
Oh, Pogs.
Pogs were serious business. I mean, the moment you played Peep, someone got a black eye.
Yeah,
for
exactly.
Sure. For sure.
I mean, it was basically childhood gambling, so I know that's why they didn't have it anymore, but yeah. I mean, I had a cool slammer. I was like, yeah, I'm going to win, so.
I remember having like giant, almost Pringles can looking holders.
Yeah, the tubes.
Full of Pogs.
Yeah, I remember those.
Yeah, it was good stuff.
By
the way, I think I know why I was never a huge fan of Pokemon, especially starting with the Yellow, because Yellow and Final Fantasy VIII came out in the same year.
Oh, yeah.
So that's my explanation.
All right.
Understandable. I would say 8's probably the better one, just because Yellow did like nothing. But you can watch Pikachu go surfing. Makes it even better.
Jason, who's your favorite Pokemon?
My favorite. Man, I don't know. Like, okay, I have a goal in every game that I need to be able to catch a Pidgey. And some games don't have Pidgey, and so those games are not as good. So I must.
Your goal is unattainable in those games.
Yeah. I feel I should make a note in my review. Like, by the way, you cannot catch a Pidgey. No, I would say that's probably one of my favorites. But I would have the most, I don't know, likelihood to keep like a Charizard on my team just out of nostalgia.
All right.
But yeah, I would say favorite overall is probably Pidgey.
My favorite Pokemon is Raichu.
Nice.
Because of Pokemon Stadium on the N64, I always pick Raichu. Because Raichu just does that stun attack, and then you just blow people up. Mm-hmm. As I've said on this podcast before, Raichu is OP.
OP. I don't know why Ash didn't ever evolve him.
I saw that episode of Pokemon, the original cartoon, and Ash was considering it, but Pikachu did not want to evolve, so Ash said, okay, fine.
Yep. Ash took the moral high ground. Chose not to force evolution. Did you ever see, there's like this comic, it came out a while ago, it was funny, like a 4-panel comic, and it's like these Pokemon and their trainers or whatever are like trick-or-treating, and someone gives out quote-unquote candies, but they're actually thunderstones. And so like the Pokemon all touch them, and then they all like evolve unwanted, and like all the trainers are crying and everything. It's hilarious.
I've been to the first time I went to Fan Expo, one of, if not the first panel I went to was for Veronica Taylor, best known as the voice of Ash Ketchum.
Oh, nice.
I think she also did the voice for Pikachu.
Expansive. Wait, we didn't hear Matt's favorite Pokemon.
I gotta go with Charizard.
Yeah.
Just because he's my starter.
Easy
and that's the only one that... Well, it's because I've only played the beginnings of most of the Pokemon games, so I haven't really been exposed to many after him.
Yeah, it's sad. Like, I'm very familiar with the originals, but the new ones, I can only name a few, and even then, I don't know.
Can you sing the Pokemon TV theme song?
Please sing it?
Can you sing it? You memorize it.
I know the song. I know the song from the theme song. I know it's extended. The actual version is longer, and I probably don't know all of it, but...
Can you just start and we'll see?
The fact that you knew that there was an extended version is good enough for me.
You want to know what's worse? I know that there is a musical, and we have some of the songs recorded, too, from the musical. So Amazing. They may or may not be on our iPods.
How much of the Poke Rap can you spit right now?
Oh, man. I used to know all of it, but I bet you if we pulled up a video, I could probably sing along once the beat starts going, but yeah, I'm not sure.
Matt, can you beatbox?
Let's do it.
All right, go for it.
No.
Are we nixing this, or are we doing it?
No, just do it live. Let's go.
We'll do it live.
All right, Jason. Ready?
No, I can't do it.
Okay, let's go.
I don't know how it starts.
It starts with, I want to be the best there ever was to beat all the rest. Yeah, that's my cause.
Oh, the Poke Rap, not that one.
Yeah, he wants the rap.
Oh, the rap?
Yeah. Oh, man.
Okay, hold on. Poke Rap. Here we go. I'm going to...
I like it.
Trying to find it here. And I think we've got it.
The Poke Rap.
Oh, it starts with spelling Pokemon. 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 Then it starts with Sunflora, Igglybuff, Piloswine, Slugma. And then you can take it from there.
Oh, those don't sound familiar at all. No, okay. Catch 'em, gotta catch 'em all. Ah, man. I remember the guy's voice. I don't know. This is going to go nowhere. But after this video, I'm going to go and look it up, because I should know what it is.
Our fans want to hear you spit some hot fire.
I know. I should. I'll do a separate video of me just rapping. I'll use our giant Pikachu plush stuffed animal in the background. Yeah. I'm gonna
so maybe it starts with Electro Diglett, Nidoran,
Diglett, Nidoran, Mankey, Venusaur, Rattata, Fearow, Pidgey. Yeah, Laura's singing along too.
All right, Jett, hit him.
Electro, Diglett, Nidoran, Mankey, Venusaur, Rattata, Fearow, Pidgey, Seeking, Jolteon, Dragonite, Ghastly, Ponyta, Vaporeon, Poliwrath, Butterfree.
That's good.
Yeah,
well, you got the first verse. That deserves a round of applause.
Yeah. Man,
that was the whole first verse.
I remember watching that before school, every day. And it was a different one each day, so you get them all in a week.
Amazing.
Okay, anyways, so... Yeah, there was another game on the 64, right, Matt? Pokemon
There
Snap.
was indeed. Pokemon Snap.
Oh, snap.
One of my favorites. I would say my favorite Pokemon game.
Yeah.
Just simply because I didn't play a lot of the other ones. But, I remember, spending tons of time trying to figure out all the little things that made, because the Pokemon didn't necessarily jump up and pose for you all the time, so you had to figure out.
Yeah.
And sometimes you have to go to further levels to get things, then come back. I think there was one where there was a Snorlax on a beach.
Yep, I remember that.
And,
I remember that
you had to go 4 levels ahead and get the flute so you could come back and play a song.
Yep.
And then he'd stand up and dance and you could take a picture of him. And then go through the cave and get in the Diglets and the Doug Trios to do all kinds of things.
You gotta throw the Pokeballs into the lake to get Gyarados to come out.
Yeah.
I remember when he would take a really good picture, Professor Oak would be like, "Oh," he hasn't seen it before, but you turn it in 50 times already.
Yeah, exactly.
That was fun. Yeah, so before the show, we were talking about how Pokemon Snap is amazing because you can take pictures and then print them off and make little stickers in real life.
Yeah, you actually reminded me of this. I forgot about that.
Yeah, absolutely amazing. I want to say you had to take your memory card to a station and do it.
Yeah, you might have to do that at a photo booth of some sort. A special, specific Pokemon Snap one.
Yeah, I'm sure they're still around somewhere. They're so popular. Everyone had them.
I don't think I've ever seen one in real life.
I've never seen one in my life.
Yeah, so it says here that they were found at most Blockbuster videos.
That sounds
They're
familiar.
Pokemon Snap Station.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you could bring a memory card with your game data on it, and you could print a sheet of 16 stickers featuring all the photos you've taken in-game.
I feel like I actually did print off one of them, but God knows where it is. So.
I was a Jumbo Video kid, so of course I never saw that.
With the free popcorn?
Mm.
Yeah.
Why would you ever go to Blockbuster if you could go to
Exactly.
Blockbuster is dead in Canada. Jumbo Video is not.
Actually, that's a lie. Blockbuster has a few stores, but all they do is sell DVDs. They don't rent or anything.
They're still around, though. I know there's only a handful of Jumbo Videos left, and they don't do what they used to do, but they're still here. Versus Blockbuster, which is all gone.
Well, there's like the odd Blockbuster store in small towns and whatnot. Like there's one up in Bolton, and all they do is sell DVDs. They don't rent or do anything like that.
They were supposed to be all dead.
I don't know. It's still got the Blockbuster branding on it.
Weird.
Yeah. We should just go in and be like, you, sir, are wrong. You need to take that side down.
Maybe they're running a bootleg Blockbuster.
It's spelled wrong. It's like Block Bustre.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So Pokemon Snap. I think it's due for a sequel. I could do Pokemon Snap 2.
Yeah.
HD.
Yeah,
It would
there's
work
literally
on the
like
Wii U.
3 times as many Pokemon now to take pictures of.
That controller works as a camera.
Yeah, I was just going to say the Wii U would be the perfect platform because you could use the
Exactly.
Wii U handset as a camera. Yeah.
They're pretty amazing. Make it happen.
And you could use the controls and zoom in and zoom out and whatnot. Yeah, it'd be great.
It would sell millions, but it's never going to get made.
No.
And it would also suck because I wouldn't buy it because I don't have a Wii U.
Yeah, likewise. So it's up to you.
I just have to go to Jett's and play it.
All right, well, Pokemon Snap 2 night at my house. Jason, you make your arrangements now, I guess.
I already have my ticket flight booked.
All right.
Yeah.
Nice.
So-
Oh,
go on.
no, you go on, because I was going to change the subject.
Oh, okay. Along with Pokemon Snap, that Pokemon Snap was the only sub-main Pokemon game I liked until I played Pokemon Conquest on the DS. And that game is super awesome.
I've seen that in the stores, and I find it... I kind of want it because the premise of it just seems so ridiculous.
It is ridiculous.
Like, it's basically like Pokemon meets Romance of the Three Kingdoms?
Yeah, because it's a cross between Pokemon and Nobunaga's Ambition.
There you go.
So, like, the end boss and the dude on the front is actually, Nobunaga, the actual shogun. But, man, as much as Pokemon is a intro RPG, Pokemon Conquest is an intro strategy RPG. Like, through and through. And it's actually really well thought out. It's super fun and totally worth your time. Like, if you just have, I don't know, $30 and you're looking for a game, yeah, Conquest is awesome.
Yeah, a few Walmarts around here still have it for about $30.
Yeah, it's well worth it, I'd say. And that game is super long, too. I'm saying super a lot. That game is incredibly long. So, like, you'll play through the story mode in a few hours, but it opens up this sort of scenario mode. And, yeah, it's so well thought out, and it's really clever. It still has the Pokemon vibe to it, but it's a very nice intro and somewhat challenging strategy RPG. Totally worth your time. So, but yeah, I like that one too, along with Snap.
Yeah, my favorite Pokemon side game is Pokemon Puzzle League on the Nintendo 64.
Right on.
Which is basically
nice.
Tetris Attack or Panel de Pon for people in Japan. It's, my favorite puzzle game of all time. The Puzzle League formula is my favorite puzzle game.
I hear a lot of people say that too. And I've yet to play it. That Pokemon Puzzle League is really good, and I love puzzle games. I know. You can add that to the book, my book.
He's writing the book against you, yeah.
Has not played a puzzle league, any of them. Tetris Attack, Pokemon Puzzle League, Planet Puzzle League.
I've not played any of them.
They're so good.
I know,
it is
my
the
life
best
low.
versus battle puzzle game, period.
I don't know. I don't know if you can do better than Tetris. And I mean that in all seriousness. Tetris is amazing.
Tetris is amazing. It's the best versus battle puzzle game, period.
What about Super Puzzle Fighter 2 Turbo?
It's better than Super Puzzle Fighter 2.
Okay, well, many games are better than that. So, so wait, what makes it so good?
It is, I guess, the blocks come up from the ground, and you don't want them to hit the top or you lose.
Okay.
And it's kind of a match 3 game, but because the blocks aren't filled all the way up, you can create crazy chains, and when you create these chains, it dumps garbage blocks on the other side of the screen.
Right.
So it ends up getting to a point where if you're playing against 2 skilled people, you're constantly trading off these giant combos and dropping blocks that take up 90% of the screen on the other side, and then you're gradually just doing combos and working through the junk blocks one layer at a time in order to drop even more junk blocks on the other side.
Nice.
So it ends up being this crazy, chaotic game that requires a lot of fast thinking, and there's strategy involved, like how many blocks of, how many blocks you want on screen at any given time, because the worst thing that can happen is you could clear all of your screen so that it's empty, but then your opponent drops a junk block that takes up 100% of your screen, and then you're screwed.
Yeah.
So you kind of have to have some going all the time so that you can create combos when the junk comes. But if you have too many blocks at any given time, they can hit you with a bunch of junk, and then you lose.
Sounds kind of awesome, actually.
It is as exciting as a fighting game, but in puzzle form.
Yeah, it sounds pretty hectic.
And so it just has like a Pokemon skin or something, and that's it?
Yes.
Yeah.
There's also a cylinder mode, so instead of like a flat 2D space where there's 6 or 8 blocks, there's actually a rotating cylinder that goes all the way around with way more blocks, which just gives you more real estate to work with.
Pretty cool.
And it is the only game where I think slowdown actually makes the game better. So when you're playing this game and you're doing these crazy combos, the game actually slows down, which makes it a little bit easier to pull off the combos, which also gives you the satisfaction of, I'm playing so awesome, I'm breaking the game as we speak.
Nice.
Right on.
Yeah, I'm definitely looking for that game somewhere.
Yes, if you can find a Tetris, I'd say Tetris Attack is the one to go for, but Pokemon Puzzle League is also excellent. Planet Puzzle League, if you can get that on the... They didn't make many copies of that, but if you can, that's probably the easiest one to play it on, because you can just throw it in your 3DS and it'll still work.
Yeah, it's a DS game, I thought. Cool. Yeah. I'm going to look for it's on my radar. Looking for it.
Must play.
Okay, so I think ready-ish to wrap up this, but I would assume from the direction the conversation went that the two of you guys probably aren't going to get X1.
No.
No. Okay. I am hoping to get it, and I'm excited for the series again, because since Black and White came out, I was really into what they had done with it, and I like the new Pokemon, and I think it got very well refined. And with the new games coming out, I'm really looking forward to seeing the new perspective change and like the visual update. But I also want to see how well they balance the gameplay, because I think over the series, how long has it been? Like 2 decades almost? That it's been getting like steadier and steadier to being a very competitive style game. And with the 3DS being easily online, I'm really excited to see how much people play and how much of a following it gets. Because I could see it being, I mean, there's World Championships, you know, and I could just imagine it being a really, really fun game, and I'm looking forward to that. So
the last Pokemon game on DS had online play and voice chat, right?
What was that?
The last Pokemon game on DS had online play and voice chat, correct?
Yeah, Black and White, and then versions 2, they had that as well. The version 2 was the better one, but yeah, it was still really great, but it was kind of wonky to like connect online. You could still do it, but I don't know. I hope it's a bit more streamlined with 3DS, and I want to see how they incorporate Street Pass and if they do anything with the camera and all this jazz. And I mean, you can pay actual money to store your Pokemon online, so why are they doing that? But I don't know. I'm just curious for everything.
Why would you want to store your Pokemon online?
I think you only have so many spaces in your actual box in the game, or at least you have in all the past games. So I'm wondering if you just can pay online to keep them, I don't know, stored so you have extra space, maybe?
So it's like buying a garage in Grand Theft Auto 5. Do you have to take out insurance on these Pokemon?
I'm going to assume yes. Yeah. There's Poke insurance.
Go steal your Pokemon?
Yeah.
In case they get totaled?
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. Or explode.
Someone just robs you of your Pokemon?
Yeah.
That would be kind of cool, actually. The M-rated Pokemon game everyone dreams of.
Yeah, Pokemon Theft Auto.
Or what they need is a Pokemon MMO. That would be pretty cool.
Oh, that just seems like such a no-brainer that Nintendo will never, ever do.
Yeah. I mean, I think if they were ever to do an MMO, Pokemon makes the most sense, but...
It would be amazing.
It would be absolutely amazing. It would be the coolest thing ever.
I'm the dude, and you could go anywhere in the world, and then, here's Jason. Let's do a Pokemon battle right now. Just throw the ball.
Yeah, that would be so cool. Oh my god, I'd play that every day.
Alright, so I think we are all Pokemon'd out here. So let's just go plug some things. Jason, what are you working on nowadays?
About a week ago, after the huge success of Mighty Number 9 on Kickstarter, I was inspired to do a top 10 classic Robot Masters list on my blog at Slick Gaming. So that was pretty cool. Fun to go back and look at all those. Side note, are you guys excited at all about that, or no? Mighty Number 9?
I will be more excited about it when it's actually a game that I can buy.
Right.
I'm not really into the whole Kickstarter scene. Like, I'll wait for other people to throw in more than their fair share of the money and then just kind of buy the final product when it's actually a thing.
Right. I actually feel quite the same.
So yeah, come back to me when the week before it comes out, when it's actually going to come out, and not when the project runs out of money and they need even more cash from us to get to go. Not to say that that's going to happen. Best of luck to Keiji Inafune and the team over there making Mighty Number 9, but I am weary of the whole Kickstarter thing as a whole.
We'll talk about this again in 2 years.
2015. If you still got your Xbox 360, you can... I mean, they're putting it on the next-gen platforms too, but...
True. So anyways, that's over there. And Scribblenauts Unmasked review I was talking about earlier is up. And I actually recorded, but I still need to edit 2 new Game Hunter videos. So that'll be pretty fun.
Oh, sweet.
They're coming up. But yeah.
I've noticed that I would like to collect more NES and SNES games. But man, the markup on those is crazy nowadays.
I know.
Oh, well then, actually, quite fitting. The next episode will be about the difference between what is rare, what is expensive, and what's hard to find. And then what you should look for when you're trying to find games.
Cool.
So, yeah, kind of what you're talking about.
One of my coworkers, her son, who's in high school, has decided he wants to start collecting Nintendo 64 games.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the games he's looking for is the original Mario Party. And
I have that.
My brother has our copy of it.
Yeah.
Every store she's gone to try and buy that game is selling it for about $60.
Wow.
And that
is it in a box?
No.
No, that game's worth like $30.
Even then, that seems crazy to me. I remember buying that new, and I don't think much of it, but I guess there's a demand for that particular game that destroys your palms.
Yes, exactly. Riding that stupid bicycle? Oh my god. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, I know.
Ugh, impossible.
And later on, they packed in a glove. So
the glove, which I wish I had. That'd be so cool. I mean, whenever you need to have a video game playing glove, you know you made a bad game. Come on.
It's so bad.
Exactly. Exactly.
Matt, how about you?
Nothing writing coming up, but I've got a new Screaming Eagle podcast coming out.
Yes.
Sweet.
Yeah, we're recording it, I think, Thursday? This coming Thursday? Well, it doesn't mean anything to people who are listening now, but it should be out hopefully by the time this airs.
Cool. As for me, I have to admit here, I usually pull up the show outline on another computer because my computer cannot run a browser and recording at the same time, but my laptop has died, so I'm going to wing the last part of the show. Hopefully by now my Love Letter review will be up. As for Splitkick, they've been doing a lot of Splitkick Plays videos, so I know Jim has done some stuff for Spelunky, Castle Crashers, Knock Knock, and there's a couple other games they're playing as well. I would like to get in on the video action, but I so don't have the equipment to do it. I have just the lowest fidelity setup of I record my screen with my webcam, and I don't really know how to edit stuff, and even if I did, my computer probably couldn't run anything, so I think I'm going to have to sit it out until the PlayStation 4 streaming solution comes up. Or I'd buy one of those boxes and hook it up to my new computer. I don't know, one or the other, but check out the videos from all the Splitkick guys in the meantime. You can also check out the Rocket Jump podcast. They're doing their thing. As always, I haven't listened to the new one yet, admittedly, but I will be on that soon. You can email us at bosscast@splitkick.com, and on Twitter you can find us at Maddie Lang, at Jay Jasicki, at Jett Landicho, and at splitkick.com. So until next time, Jason, you want to drop a couple more fat rhymes for us? Verse 2, Poke Rap, let's go.
Oh no. I don't remember.
That was close.
Yeah.
Alright.
I really am like trying to think about things. Like I'm like, oh, I know it ends with like